Pros and cons of keeping Pokemon singles. Yesterday was Pokemon sealed pros and cons. Everyone seemed to like that. This was requested. Pros and cons of Pokemon singles. There's a ton more pros than cons. We'll get that out of the way. Pros. Pokemon cards are doing better than dollars. That's killer. Pokemon cards are doing better than stock market. Pokemon cards, in some instances, are safer than all those other alternatives. If you're an old school guy like me, I'd like to be able to hold it myself. I like knowing that there's potentially, $1,000 sitting right there under my pillow or wherever you want to keep it. That part's always nice. Nobody can take it from you. If you like the art, then it's very enjoyable to hold on to Pokemon singles. It can be very fun while also being lucrative. Pokemon is a smart company. They know what they're doing. You got to think of Pokemon more as a central bank or a Federal Reserve more than you think of them as like a child's card toy maker. They're in charge of supply, what comes out in what set, how good the sets are. Look at Perfect Order into Chaos Rising into Pitch Black leading into 30th. They specifically made those sets not bad, but they can always make the set as good or as bad as they want, depending on what they want the public sentiment to do. So with Pokemon being a smart company, holding on to singles is always really nice. Desirable. Cons, damaged. As opposed to a slab wrapped in plastic, sealed in tight. Singles can be damaged. Nowadays, everybody just immediately puts everything into a top loader, so it's a lot less of a concern than things used to be. That's just the culture, which is a whole nother debate. The culture of grading going forward with, how strict everything will have to be. That's a whole nother topic. I thought of one more pro. Easy to store and ship. They're tiny. I mean, look how big Pokemon cards are. You could pack a ton of value into a very small package and then ship that package anywhere across the world safely, quickly, and easily. Singles, easily damaged. In the current market, I think we have a saturation of arts. For example, every single. Remember when full art cards like trainer galleries and stuff were a hit? Now every other pack's got some form of an art rare, extremely detailed art, which I love. The more detailed the art, the better, in my opinion. But you are seeing a saturation of the market with just lots and lots of different arts. That always causes people to funnel into the more rare things. More art doesn't mean more cards. And what I mean by that is they try to increase the amount of cool looking arts in all the sets to try to alleviate some pressure on people and on the market. Maybe reduce a little bit of demand, but that almost never works. Next thing you know, you just take these extremely detailed arts and make them $1, $2 cards. Whatever you think of that, this is a pro and a con liquid. I'm going to write this in the middle. You're seeing Pokemon cards be used to launder large amounts of money. Same way that fine art is used to launder large amounts of money. Why is that worth that much? because I say so. Okay, that works. Extremely liquid. You could get in, you could get out, you could drop a Pikachu card in your pocket and go across the world, and you could turn it into something. But in the same fact that it's extremely liquid, there's an inherent risk when you keep it. It's a little dangerous to store because of how liquid it is. At least if somebody steals your credit card, you can just cancel it. You know, if you keep track of every single slab number you have, record it, file a police report, record all those slab numbers, and then hopefully somebody who buys it down the road will go, oh, let me check these slab numbers. Also, quick question, I personally have never looked up a slab to see if it was stolen before. Have you? Let me know down below if you have. What am I, Superman? I do my job protecting my own slabs. Whatever you think about that, dangerous or not, I do think that just Pokemon singles themselves are a good hold. If you can keep them dry, free of damage, don't tell a lot of people that you have them. If we can make sure that Pokemon continues to do the right things, doing right by us, making smart decisions, not oversaturating the market, reprinting things, I think it's fantastic to hold on to Pokemon singles. And wait till I do the one about slabs later. That'll be a long one.